Racing Bulls' brand new driver, Isack Hadjar, is one of the few rookies this year that will take on the F1 tracks around the world. The French-Algerian driver will drive alongside Yuki Tsunoda in Red Bull's sister team and is one to watch for sure, seeing as how he was one of the candidates to replace Sergio Perez next to Max Verstappen. Let's find out his story so far, how he developed his passion for motorsports and why he admired Lewis Hamilton's talent. Could he be another successful driver in F1? Let's find out. Isack Alexandre Hadjar was born on September 28, 2004 in Paris, France, to an Algerian family of physicians and physicists, and his father, Yassine Hadjar, also worked as a kart mechanic. Hadjar holds both French and Algerian citizenship, and he developed a passion for motorsport after watching the Pixar film Cars. His parents gifted him a go-kart at the age of 7, a year after he began following Formula One. Hadjar started kart racing competitively at 7 as he made his sports car debut in the Ginetta Junior Winter Series, before advancing to junior single-seaters in 2019. In 2020, he finished third in the French F4 Championship with FFSA Academy, then moved up to the Formula Regional European Championship in 2021, securing multiple wins and placing 5th in his rookie season. In 2022, he competed in Formula Regional Asia and FIA Formula 3 with Hi-Tech, finishing third in the former and claiming multiple victories in both. Hadjar stepped up to FIA Formula 2 in 2023 and finished as runner-up to Gabriel Bortoleto the following season with Campos. His performances in Formula 2 earned him the nickname Le Petit Prost in the French media. Hadjar made his single-seater debut in the French F4 Championship in 2019. Early in the season, he faced challenges due to his shorter stature, which made it difficult for him to fully press down on the car's pedals. Despite this, he secured his first single-seater victory at Spa during the third round. He later added another podium to his tally with a second-place finish in the final race at Circuit de l'Édenard. Although the last 3 rounds of the season were marred by 3 retirements, Hadjar still managed to collect a solid number of points, finishing 7th in the overall standings and 2nd in the junior class behind Victor Bernier. Isack Hadjar talked about how his admiration for Lewis Hamilton has been a defining influence on his career. Hadjar was an avid supporter of Hamilton, cheering him on as he claimed 7 world championships. He has often spoken about how thrilling it was to root for a driver who dominated the sport, and how he considers Hamilton the most complete driver in Formula One. As Hadjar progressed into single-seaters, his understanding of the sport deepened, and he became even more convinced that Hamilton was the ultimate benchmark, someone he regarded as the GOAT and a major source of inspiration. He recalled how his appreciation for Hamilton's talent grew as he began racing in higher categories. While karting gave him a passion for motorsport, it wasn't until he drove a proper racing car that he truly grasped just how extraordinary Hamilton's skills were. He has pointed to specific races that stood out to him, such as Hamilton's battle with Sebastian Vettel in 2018, his remarkable pole lap in Singapore that same year, and, most notably, his dominant performance at the 2021 Brazilian Grand Prix. Even though Hadjar had a soft spot for Red Bull at the time, he couldn't help but admire Hamilton's brilliance that weekend, calling it his best ever. Hadjar has always described his journey to motorsport's upper levels as a crazy project that he and his family shared since his early days in karting. Though they believed Formula One was a distant dream, reaching FIA Formula 2 made the reality feel surreal. His parents, unwavering in their support, worked tirelessly to help him race with competitive teams. His mother was initially nervous about his racing, while his father, who served as his mechanic during his early karting years, was deeply involved. Despite his father's technical role, Hadjar largely taught himself how to drive, learning braking techniques and racecraft on his own until he began working with engineers in single-seaters. He has often credited this self-taught approach as the best way to develop as a driver. Though his father was an F1 fan, he never had the opportunity to race himself, but it was seeing his father watching Formula One that truly ignited his fascination. At just 5 years old, he tried karting for the first time and instantly knew it was his calling. However, Hadjar's journey was far from easy. Those who knew him understand the immense financial struggles his family faced to support his racing ambitions. While he focused on driving, his parents worked relentlessly to secure sponsors and opportunities, pushing through countless challenges to keep his career moving forward. Their perseverance paid off when Red Bull picked him up, providing much-needed relief after years of hardship. Signed by Racing Bulls for the 2025 Formula One season, Isack Hadjar had been a fluctuating presence in the discussion as speculation around Sergio Perez's Red Bull future intensified. While Liam Lawson was widely considered the front-runner to replace the Mexican, especially after taking Daniel Ricciardo's RB seat midway through 2024, the shifting landscape opened the door for fresh talent. Mekis, speaking to selected media outlets ahead of F175, stated that Hadjar was an obvious selection. He was the next candidate in line from the Red Bull Junior program. Mekis stated, "The most natural part of the process was to get Isack in. He was very clearly the next one in line in terms of the Red Bull Young Drivers program." Mekis further explained their long-time interest in Hadjar and how they had been following his career for quite some time. The decision to bring him on board was not a surprise to those in the know, as it was an easy one. In a surprising turn of events, Hadjar's main competition for the RB seat came not from Lawson, but from Williams driver Franco Colapinto, who replaced Logan Sargent ahead of the Italian Grand Prix and delivered a string of standout performances, throwing his name into serious contention. With no way to impact Colapinto's results from the Formula 2 paddock, Hadjar focused on making a strong case for himself by fighting for the F2 title. However, despite his best efforts, he ultimately fell short, losing out to future Sauber driver Gabriel Bortoleto after a season-long battle. Hadjar completed his final FP1 outing for Red Bull ahead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the same weekend the F2 held its championship-deciding event. While his F2 campaign ended on a sour note as he stalled on the line in the feature race, the new Racing Bulls driver believes that he has nothing left to prove in the junior category. "To be fair, I think I've shown enough in F2 now," he said in Abu Dhabi. "What is coming Saturday and Sunday won't affect my future. I really want to bring the title for me, for my team. Honestly, right now, I just really want to win this championship so bad. It's been a tough season for me, a lot of lows, but still we're in the fight, and I want to bring it." Rounding out the year, Hadjar took part in the postseason rookie test, driving alongside Yuki Tsunoda in Red Bull. He completed 125 laps and finished 15th fastest. Hadjar's Grand Prix debut will come in Melbourne, as Australia returns to hosting the F1 curtain raiser this season. And despite his limited experience of practice and test sessions, Hadjar is setting an ambitious target for his first race. "I want to go straight into Q3 in qualifying and score points in the race," he said. "I think this track has always been kind to our team's cars. In order to achieve this, Hadjar will need to learn first, as he admits there's a lot missing from his F1 knowledge base. Technically, I'm missing a lot of data," he said. "For example, I've never driven with 110 kilograms of fuel in the tank. I don't know what that feels like. It's a small thing, but I need to learn. I need experience. I'm a rookie, let's not forget that. I just want to be as prepared as possible for Melbourne." Hadjar isn't alone as he joins several rookies on the F1 grid, including Mercedes' Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Alpine's Jack Doohan, who made his GP debut in Abu Dhabi on December, Sauber's reigning F2 champion Gabriel Bortoleto, and Haas's Oliver Behrmann. One could argue that even Lawson is still a rookie, given he has only had 11 GP starts, so Hadjar can at least rest easy in the knowledge he's not the only one who has things to learn through the 2025 F1 season. What do you think? Can Hadjar prove himself this year in F1? Let us know in the comments down below, and we will see you in the next video.